celebration. And I couldn't be happier with such a distinguished guest. What else could we possibly need?
Take my advice and book a dog act.
I understand you're going to be talking about the founding fathers. You know, Mother's great, etc. grandfather came over on the Mayflower.
Oh, a pilgrim.
No, a worker. He was a guy who flogged the oarsmen.
They didn't have oarsmen on the Mayflower?
Oh, well, he wasn't particular.
Please.
Mother Dexter, you might be interested in knowing my great-great-grandfather came across the plains as a member of a wagon train.
Oh, what kind of wagon did he pull?
I'm afraid I haven't had a chance to work on my speech yet. It's been a very long day.
Yes, and a very trying one. Leonard got a threatening letter today warning him against voting for low-income housing.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, a public servant has to expect this sort of thing.
True. Happened to me once.
It did?
Yeah, several years ago, in my courtroom. I was sentencing a man, and he jumped up on the table and screamed at me. When I get out, Dexter, I'm going to track you down, and I'm going to do to you exactly what I did to all my other victims.
For heaven's sake, was he a murderer?
No, a peeping Tom.
Shall we all go in and have our dinner?
You bet. I'm so hungry I could eat your cooking.
Leonard, I find it admirable the way you kept your cool about this threat thing. You're not frightened at all, are you?
Of course not. This sort of thing has happened to me before.
Isn't there anything you can do about it?
I'll do what I've always done when some irrational social misfit tries to get me to switch my vote.
What's that?
Switch my vote.
Time to go vote. Where's Leonard?
You'll be right out, Dan. Dan, last night, Leonard told me he's changed his mind about how he's voting.
What?
Dan, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it today.
What's the matter, Leonard?
I'm not a well man. This could be the big one. It's my heart.
Leonard, you're clutching the wrong side of your chest.
My Lord, it's moved.
Leonard, will you come off it? Look, I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but we have to go vote.
Dan, I've reconsidered, and I'm just not going to vote today.
Leonard, this is an important piece of legislature. Low-income families need more housing.
I've had enough of poor people coming around for handouts. You give them any money, and all they do is go out and blow it on food.
Leonard, you don't know anything about what it's like to be poor. How can you sympathize with poor people?
What do you mean? Are you kidding? Growing up, I experienced many of the same frustrations as the poor. Why, my parents' mansion had 3 kitchens in it. I never knew where my next meal was coming from.
Leonard, I know it's behind this. It's that letter.
Dan, this guy means business.
But what do the police have to say about the letter?
Well, not much. The report we got back said that the words pasted on the letter were cut out of Weight Watchers magazine, Catholic Digest, and Motorcycle Monthly.
Well, that's simple. All we have to do is look for a fat nun on a Kawasaki.
See, Dan, the police don't have any leads at all. I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to vote today.
Okay, Leonard, you do what you want. I'm not going to be your conscience. Just remember, whatever you do, you're the one who has to live with it.
Dan, this guy could be dangerous. You understand, don't you, Phyllis?
It's your decision, Leonard.
You see my point, don't you, Harriet?
Do what you want, Leonard.
Oh, well, why don't you all just come right out and say it? You think I'm a coward.
You're a coward.
Yes, you're right. Maybe there's more at stake here than a simple vote on low-income housing. There's my integrity. The integrity of all politicians. Okay, Valerie, let's go vote yes.
That our boy, Leonard.
I can be brave. I can go out there and vote my conscience. I can face the consequences. I can face the dangers involved. There's only one thing I can't do. Walk.
Newspapers has an article on you voting yes in spite of having your life threatened. They're all talking about how courageous you are.
You'll become a hero, Leonard. This could lead to higher office.
Yeah, I wonder if I could adapt my exterminator speech into an inaugural address.
Supervisor Marsh. Hold on, please. Leonard, it's for you.
Supervisor Marsh speaking? Yes, that's right. Oh. It's him. It's the guy who wrote the letter. What'll I do?
Just keep him talking, Leonard. Here, call the police and have them trace the call. Just keep him talking, Leonard.
Right. So, how have you been? Good. I meant to thank you for your letter, but I couldn't find the return address. No, it's nice to hear from a citizen who is so interested in city government. I mean, people are so apathetic these days. It's good to know there are people like you who are concerned about... You'll do what to my what? Hung up.
They didn't have time to trace the call.
Do you think he'll really do what to your what?
I'm going to my office. Hold all my threatening calls.
What's up?
Stan, Leonard got another threat on his life.
Leonard, are you okay?
Dan, is that you?
Of course it's me.
Got any identification?
Would you come out here? Was it the same guy, Leonard?
How do I know? Maybe it's a new one. Maybe there's a bunch of them. Maybe they formed a club.
Leonard, you're getting a little paranoid now.
Nonsense. That's ridiculous. Anyone else notice that Dan was in the room when I got that call?
Try to get control of yourself. We're leaving for the dedication ceremonies right away.
Are you nuts? Phyllis, I'd be a sitting duck in that park.
You mean you're not going?
Absolutely not. That would be suicide.
Leonard, I can understand how you must feel, but you can't let this guy back you down now. All he's trying to do is scare you.
He should be commended for a magnificent job.
I agree wholeheartedly with Dan. This maniac is just trying to scare you.
Oh, it's easy for you to talk, Dan. You're not the one who's been threatened.
That's a good point. I agree wholeheartedly with Harriet.
Well, the way I am threatened. Our system of government depends on leaders to be accessible to the people. Guys like this maniac are threatening our system, Leonard. We can't knuckle under to them.
Dan, what you're talking about is principles. What I'm talking about is my life.
I think I agree wholeheartedly with Leonard.
Listen, you can't agree with everybody.
You're absolutely right.
Dan, you've made some really good points. But you'd change your tune if this guy were threatening you.
Well, maybe he will some other time. But if this guy succeeds in intimidating you, Leonard, then what's to stop him from trying it again?
Well, this is Leonard's decision, and no one else can make it for him. I'll tell Audrey that some important business detained you.
No, you won't, Phyllis. I'm coming.
You are?
We can't give in to these people. When I took my oath of office, I pledged my life to this job. I'm not going to back down on that oath now.
Leonard, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Harriet. For everything. Dan, I leave you to carry on my work.
Yeah, Leonard.
I had hoped to live to see the Leonard Marsh wing added to the dog pound. Fight for it, Dan.
Right.
Oh, and also there's a proposal in the top drawer of my desk for a